Step on a scale after a week of healthy eating, and nothing changes. Look in the mirror after your first few workouts, and you still look exactly the same. It's frustrating. Many people give up at this point because they assume nothing is happening. But here's the truth. Long before you notice any visible difference in your waistline, your body has already begun changing. Some of the most important transformations happen deep inside your abdomen, completely hidden from view. That's because the most dangerous fat in your body isn't the fat you can pinch. It's the fat you can't even see. Visceral fat. Unlike the fat stored just beneath your skin, visceral fat wraps itself around vital organs like your liver, pancreas, and intestines. And while it may be invisible, it has a very real impact on your health. The good news? It's often one of the first types of fat to respond when your lifestyle begins improving. But what actually happens inside your body when visceral fat starts disappearing? Let's take a look. Why visceral fat is different. Imagine two people who weigh exactly the same. One carries most of their weight around the hips and legs. The other carries it mainly around the waist. Although their weight is identical, their health risks may be very different. That's because visceral fat behaves differently from ordinary body fat. It isn't simply sitting there storing energy, it's biologically active. It produces hormones and inflammatory chemicals that influence many systems throughout your body. When visceral fat accumulates in excess, it's associated with an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, fatty liver disease, and metabolic syndrome. This is one reason doctors often pay close attention to waist circumference instead of relying only on body weight. The first thing that changes isn't your waistline. Here's something most people never realize. The first sign that visceral fat is decreasing usually isn't visible. It's metabolic. As you begin eating healthier, moving more, sleeping better, and maintaining a calorie balance that encourages fat loss, your body starts changing the way it uses stored energy. Insulin sensitivity often begins improving. That means your cells respond more efficiently to insulin, allowing glucose to move into tissues more effectively. For many people, this supports healthier blood sugar regulation. You probably won't notice this while looking in the mirror, but your body notices. And these internal improvements often begin before obvious physical changes appear. Your liver starts feeling the difference. One of the organs that benefits most from reducing visceral fat is your liver. Excess visceral fat is closely connected to fat accumulation within the liver itself. As visceral fat gradually decreases, many people also experience improvements in liver health, especially when weight loss is combined with nutritious eating and regular physical activity. Your liver becomes more efficient at processing nutrients. Blood sugar regulation improves. Energy production becomes more stable. Again, these aren't changes you can immediately see, but they're changes your entire body can feel. Chronic inflammation begins to decrease. Visceral fat doesn't only store calories, it actively releases inflammatory substances into the body. While inflammation is a normal part of healing after injury or infection, chronically elevated inflammation may contribute to numerous long-term health problems. As visceral fat decreases, these inflammatory signals often begin declining as well. The result? Many people report feeling less sluggish. Recovery after exercise improves. Joint discomfort may decrease. Overall energy becomes more consistent, not because one workout changed everything, but because your body is gradually moving toward a healthier internal environment. The scale doesn't tell the whole story. This is where many people become discouraged. They've been exercising for 3 weeks, eating better, walking every day, yet the scale has barely moved. What they don't realize is that body weight measures everything: water, muscle, food inside your digestive system, bone, and fat. The scale can't tell you where those changes are happening. You may be reducing visceral fat while gaining muscle, improving hydration, or simply experiencing normal day-to-day fluctuations in body weight. That's why progress isn't always visible immediately. Your body often changes internally before it changes externally. And that's exactly why so many people quit just before meaningful results begin to appear. Because the biggest transformation isn't what happens in the mirror, it's what happens inside your body long before anyone else notices. And once that process begins, almost every major system in your body starts responding in ways you might never have expected. Your heart starts working more efficiently. One of the biggest benefits of losing visceral fat has nothing to do with appearance. It has everything to do with your heart. Visceral fat is associated with higher levels of inflammation, elevated blood pressure, and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. As this fat gradually decreases, many people begin experiencing improvements in overall cardiovascular health. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard. Blood vessels function more efficiently. Circulation improves. These changes don't happen overnight, but over time, they reduce the strain placed on one of the hardest working organs in your body. And unlike cosmetic changes, these improvements can have a lasting impact on your health for years to come. Your hormones become more balanced. Visceral fat also influences the hormones that help regulate appetite and metabolism. When excess visceral fat accumulates, it can interfere with the body's normal hormonal communication. This may contribute to increased hunger, reduced insulin sensitivity, and greater difficulty maintaining a healthy weight. As visceral fat decreases, those signals often begin improving. Many people notice they don't feel hungry quite as often. Energy becomes steadier throughout the day. Cravings become easier to manage. Healthy eating starts feeling less like a battle and more like a routine. This doesn't happen because of one perfect meal. It happens because your body is slowly returning to a healthier balance. Your energy levels improve. Think back to the last time you felt truly energized, not from caffeine, not from sugar, but naturally. That's one of the biggest differences many people notice after months of consistent healthy habits. When your metabolism functions more efficiently, your body becomes better at producing and using energy. Blood sugar fluctuations become smaller. Sleep quality often improves. Your cardiovascular system becomes stronger. All of these improvements work together. Instead of experiencing dramatic highs and crashes, your energy becomes more stable from morning until evening. Why crash diets usually fail? Here's where many people make a critical mistake. They become impatient. They don't see immediate changes in the mirror, so they dramatically reduce calories, skip meals, or follow extremely restrictive diets. Initially, the scale drops quickly, but much of that early weight often comes from water and glycogen, not necessarily large amounts of body fat. Worse, aggressive dieting can become difficult to maintain. Eventually, many people return to old eating habits. The weight comes back, and sometimes even more than before. Sustainable fat loss happens differently. Small calorie deficits, regular movement, strength training, nutritious meals, good sleep. Those habits may produce slower results, but they're far more likely to last. How to lose visceral fat the right way. If your goal is reducing visceral fat, you don't need extreme methods. Start with the basics. Walk regularly. Include resistance training a few times each week. Eat plenty of protein. Choose whole foods more often than highly processed foods. Limit sugary drinks. Sleep 7 to 9 hours whenever possible. Manage chronic stress. None of these habits are exciting. None promise overnight transformation. But together, they create the exact environment your body needs to gradually reduce visceral fat while protecting your muscle and improving your overall health. The biggest transformation is invisible. Here's something worth remembering. The healthiest changes inside your body often happen long before compliments from other people. Your blood sugar improves before your waist shrinks. Your liver becomes healthier before your clothes fit differently. Your heart becomes stronger before anyone notices your appearance. That's why relying only on the mirror can be so misleading. Real progress starts beneath the surface, and every healthy decision you make is another signal telling your body it no longer needs to store excess fat around your organs. One walk, one workout, one healthy meal, one good night's sleep. By themselves, they don't seem powerful. Repeated hundreds of times, they change everything. If you're enjoying this science-based health content, I'd also recommend checking out the book Wild Women Remedies. It's packed with practical tips on natural wellness, gut health, hormone balance, and healthy living. You'll find the link in the description if you'd like to learn more. Outro. So what really happens when visceral fat begins disappearing? Your metabolism becomes more efficient. Inflammation starts decreasing. Your liver functions more effectively. Your heart experiences less strain. Hormones become more balanced, and your body slowly begins returning to a healthier state. The most important thing to remember is this: the first signs of progress usually happen where you can't see them. So don't let the mirror convince you that nothing is happening. Your body is constantly responding to the choices you make every day. Stay patient, stay consistent, and trust the process. Because lasting health isn't built by dramatic changes. It's built by ordinary habits repeated long enough to become extraordinary results. If you enjoyed this science-based explanation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more practical health content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.